got to run, I've never run more than 8 miles in my life. And on Saturday, I'm doing a half Ironman, which is a 1.2 mile swim, 56 mile bike ride, and a 13-mile run. Who thinks I'm going to actually get that done? Nobody? Anybody? Yes. All right. Belief. I love it. All right, look. Disclaimer, I have to rely on this deck. This content is super fresh to me, so I'm going to be not reading off of it, but we're going to follow along quite a bit with it. Here's the thing. 10 months ago, I'd be embarrassed to present this topic because shit hit the fan. In 6 to 12 months, they said I'd be dead if the medication didn't work. But if it does work, I might get 20 years or maybe 6 months. You know what? When that happens, you stop giving a shit about what people think, okay? You just stop. You don't care about being embarrassed. But what's the embarrassing part? Here's the embarrassing part. My thoughts gave me lung cancer. Right now, I have a lung tumor that's 5 times the average in my right lung. I have lesions in my brain. I have it in my bones. I have it in my lymph nodes. I'm looking for the eye rolls here. No eye rolls? Some thoughts gave me cancer? Cool. I appreciate that. Give me 14 more minutes. That clock's a lie. 14 more minutes in order to explain why. Look, my oncologist said I was the unlucky 15%. So does that mean my healing is going to be based on luck? Here's the thing. You guys are entrepreneurs. Do you rely on luck? Didn't think so. You're actually out here doing things because you believe you can do it. I consider it like climbing trees. When I was a kid, I used to climb trees. I used to go way up high. And then I'd yell to my dad, "Dad, I can't get down." He goes, "You got up there. You can get down." Right? So I'm asking for these next 13 minutes to believe what I'm about to tell you because that part is healing for me. Give me that, okay? Cancer. Cancer has done multiple things. It's forced change, undo the things I've done, and I'm climbing different trees. It's giving me more clarity, more drive, and better performance. And I hope my transparency today on about what I'm about to show you is going to give you what you need. Look, you have 70,000 thoughts a day. 95% of them are the same as yesterday. That leads to the same choices, behaviors, experiences, and emotions. Look at your daily routine. I know it. It's alarm, phone, coffee, email, meeting, Slack, repeat, repeat, repeat. How many of us do that? How many times are we repeating this shit? Look, that becomes automatic, subconscious thoughts, choices, behaviors, experiences, and emotions. And guess what? 80% of this is negative. Can anybody say, yeah, I can kind of agree with that. 80% of our shit's negative. Sorry, I say shit a lot. At least it's not the F-bomb. So are you lacking clarity, drive, and performance? That means you need to change the automatic thoughts to change your choices, behaviors, experience, emotions, and what you care about, your outcomes. Right? This is not about, hey, be a positive person, right? That's not what this is. This is about rewiring your brain and chemistry to help you change how you think, how you act, and how you feel. Psychoneuroimmunology. I can't even say the word still because it's so new, but every thought produces a biochemical reaction in the brain to allow your body to feel what you were just thinking. So happy, inspiring, positive thoughts, that equals dopamine. We've all heard of dopamine, right? You close a deal, you're gaining momentum, you're getting a new runway, extended runway, you're getting product market fit. You are stoked, and so guess what you do? You go buy new shoes. Dopamine, baby, it's the best. But then there's the other side, the angry, unworthy, jealousy. That's gonna start triggering adrenaline and cortisol and other chemicals. You miss quota, or your teammate missed quota, your direct report missed quota. You're frustrated with their effort. You're self-critical about your bad hire. You're annoyed that they're poorly managed. And then you go post about it on LinkedIn and somebody talks smack. And guess what? You got more adrenaline and cortisol. And guess what? You feel all of that. Everything is felt. And then you think about it more, then you feel it a little bit more, and then you think and feel, think and feel, think and feel. Anybody feel that ever? Constant downward spiral? Yep, there it is. Repetition equals new neural nets. So the more you do this, the more you repeat this, you're going to create new neural nets. New neural nets equal automatic subconscious thinking, which equals automatic subconscious choices, behaviors, experiences, feelings, and outcomes. Neuroplasticity, you may have heard of it, right? They said before that you can't rewire yourself. Now they're saying, yes, you can rewire yourself. So how do you rewire? You get a new experience, you learn it, you change the behavior, and then you repeat. And you repeat, and you repeat. Right? So think about role-playing a new opener script 100 times. Never done it before. You repeat it 100 times. You start to build new neural connections, and you start to rewire. It's called Hebbian learning, right? Nerve cells that start to fire together start to wire together. But then you add in the law of repetition, where you're doing it so many times. The more they fire, the deeper they wire, right? And boom shakalaka, that's my favorite slide of this entire deck. You have new brain hardware. Okay? When you have new brain hardware, guess what that equals? New automation. Could be good or bad. Just keep this in mind. And you can do it without physical act. So we just talked about role playing. You can do it without physically role playing. Here's a study. I have multiple studies, but one that we have time for. Pulling a spring. They took a group, physically pulled a spring, right? I don't know if it was a hand, finger, what, but pulled the spring for 1 hour a day for 4 weeks. Group 2, they mentally rehearsed pulling the spring for the same amount of time. Group 1, 30% muscle gain. Makes sense, right? You're physically pulling the spring. Group number 2, 22% muscle gain without lifting a finger. They rewired their brain by thinking, and they got physical changes. Physiological is the right word. So here's a reminder, 95% of thoughts are the same as yesterday, 80% are negative, and they produce the chemicals that make us feel the thoughts. So the question is, what are you wiring, right? What are you wiring? Think about this now. What are you wiring? You cannot tell if it's the past, the present, or the future. Your body doesn't know when you're thinking. We often, though, think in the past and the future. Anybody agree with that? We're always thinking past, future. Okay? In 2007, I sold $10 million in real estate in Chicago. I was 22 years old, top 10 agent out of 100, just crushing it, especially when you consider I only made $10,000 in income the year before. Man, every time I think about that, I get dopamine, I get stoked. But guess what? I don't know if anybody knew 2008. So 2008 comes along, 2010, I'm bankrupt. I'm out of money. I'm going to the law office for bankruptcy filing. The shame and the embarrassment is just heavy, right? Especially when your dad calls to say the Jeep's being towed. Not fun, but I can think about it and I can trigger those chemicals. And I can still feel them if I go deep enough, right? But here's the thing, I start preparing for the future. I'm preparing for the future based on the past, whether it's real or not. Okay, so in 2007, I sold 10 million. If I think about this right now, I go, wow, man, I can do anything. I'm gonna go build the next whatever. But the minute I think about this bankruptcy, I'm like, shit, am I repeating my mistakes? Anybody feeling that so far? Anybody have a sense of that? Yeah? I'm thinking and feeling, thinking and feeling, thinking and feeling, thinking and feeling. Think about this, your co-founder, your investor, your spouse says, be better. Be better? What? You get angry. Then you think about the other day, you get more anger. Then you think about 3 months ago they said something, your anger, resentment, bitterness. And then you think about this future meeting coming up with any of them, and you're like, I'm thinking about this, but I'm feeling this, and now the chemicals. You're feeling all of that before the meeting even starts, right? So, thinking and feeling today by recalling the past and then preparing for the future. We're rarely in that moment of what's actually happening. So, a new physiological shift then begins. Hundreds, thousands of years ago, right, we had to be aware of threats like predators, enemies, tribes, whatever. That triggers the fight or flight response, aka a stress response. But stresses are different today. Mortgages, traffic, funding, payroll, quota. But guess what? The neurological and physiological response system is the same as thousands of years ago. So the sympathetic nervous system, right, that is there designed to be reacting to stressful situations and danger, aka fight or flight. The parasympathetic, right, it maintains homeostasis, where your body wants to be. The chemical balance for optimal functioning, that's homeostasis. It manages the heart rate, respiration, glucose, and cellular repair. See where I'm going with this? Fight or flight does not equal homeostasis, right? But once homeostasis is disrupted, the body wants to return to that as fast as possible. The problem is our neocortex is too sophisticated, aka we're too smart. Think about a grazing deer. If they're all of a sudden frightened, they run off, and 3 minutes later, what are they doing again? They're grazing again, because in moments they're back to homeostasis because they don't think. They don't have the neocortex. Our neocortex goes into overdrive and can trigger fight or flight response with just a thought about a possibility of a stressor, as if it's happening right now. So if 95% of thoughts are the same as yesterday, 80% are negative, and producing the chemicals to feel the way we think, the stress response stays activated. Homeostasis, though, isn't static. It adjusts. It's like lifting weights, right? You get stronger. So you're adjusting this homeostasis. And a new homeostasis normal equals out of chemical balance. i.e. you have an internal tornado happening. Now, if there's a tornado that comes through here, are we building a house if a tornado is coming through here? Hell no, we're not building a house, we're sheltering, right? The fight or flight system creates this internal tornado. No creating, no recovery, no restoring for the mind or the body. So new homeostasis normal equals building, creating, producing in a tornado. Everything suffers. Work, relationships, immune systems. The fight or flight system halts long-term cellular repair. You're unable to fight invaders, bacteria, viruses, other immune-related illnesses, and unable to detect early tumor cells. So let's go back to my thoughts gave me cancer. How we can connect that? My expectations for life. No office, no suit, no train, no computer. That's why I have a mullet. My expectations. I wanted to be with Nat Geo. I wanted to be with Discovery. I wanted to be the next Anthony Bourdain. Instead, I was like, let's start by being a real estate millionaire. So here's the timeline. Ryan Holmes crushed it, top 10 rep. This is my life. This is pathetic. Chicago, I survived. $10,000 in income. I'm waiting tables. The real world is hard, but guess what? I can do this. Chicago, all of a sudden I sell $10 million in real estate. I'm free soon, baby. I'm going to build the next Nat Geo. I can do anything. Great recession, I'm bankrupt. This sucks, but hey, you'll recover. I'm ashamed, I'm embarrassed. I bartend, I recovered. This is fun, but where did I go wrong? I'm proud to recover, but I'm insecure and I start to doubt. Then I go to human healthy vending. This is where I taught Kevin Dorsey how to sell, okay? All right, I work more, I make less, I go broke. Where did I go wrong? What about Nat Geo? I'm distressed, there's anger, there's resentment. Kevin knows actually about this stuff. This is why he's here right now. E-commerce influence, great clients, movement watches, blenders, eyewear, Tipsy Elves, but I had to sell. I was forced to sell. Where did I go wrong? Where's Nat Geo? Chasing, resentment, envy. I go to Klaviyo, I build their partner program. It's an epic partner program. I'm an entrepreneur though, I'm not an employee. Envy, jealousy, pride. I go to TalusPay, tech doesn't exist that I go to sign up for. Now I'm stuck turning around this company. Where did I go wrong? What about Nat Geo? Bitterness, self-critical, shame. RevFlow, my own payments company. I got the proof of concept, I got cancer. Where did I go wrong? Where's Nat Geo? Resignation, why even try? So here's the summary. Events turned into emotions, turned into recall, turned into repeat. Those are all the negative emotions, 158. All those highlighted and bolded are the ones I felt and experienced on a repeated basis. Initial setbacks, no biggie. Repeated setbacks start to take its toll. So I thought about the experiences, I feel them, I think more, I feel them more, I hit the chemicals, I create a new homeostasis normal, and I'm building in a tornado for years. I can't handle the stress and the repairing attempts. My body cannot handle the stress or repairing attempts, so I'm compromised, and it missed the tumor cells. Is this bullshit? I don't know, man. But I tell you what, it feels pretty logic, right? And guess what? It's the only thing I have left to believe in. Because if I have to rely on luck, man, that's a shitty way to go. I'd rather be climbing up trees and climbing down trees, being responsible for myself than anything else. So how did I get my clarity, drive, and my performance? Look, I'm lucky to have the time to reflect. The medication is holding things off. First, I got stuck in a hamster wheel, and then somebody put a stick in it. And you know what happens when a wheel's spinning fast and you put a stick in it? It's just an absolute wreck. Cancer is the ultimate pattern interrupt. And when you have a pattern interrupt in life, you get clarity, which leads to drive and likely better performance. Clarity is where it starts. Cancer is the ultimate pattern interrupt. Obviously, I don't want that for anybody. Second, I learned how to observe my subconscious automatic thoughts to break neural connections. Meditation, and no, it's not like 15 minutes on your Calm app, right? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being able to access the 4 brainwave cycles. Beta. You're in beta, you're alert, mental activity, but you can go up to as overanalyzing and anxiety, right? You can get that high. Alpha, you're in relaxation, daydreaming, and in a ready state. You're basically in alpha right now. But theta is the magic zone, deep relaxation, drifting to sleep. Delta is deep sleep. The reason why theta is the magic zone is because it disconnects the body. We talked about the chemicals produced by thoughts. When you're in that place, your body disconnects. And now you can look at the thoughts. You can see the subconscious thoughts minus the chemical production and the feeling. Okay, everybody following along so far? We good? So now I can observe. I can reword the things I'm saying to myself. I can repeat it. Then I step up a stage to alpha where I can start to feel again. So now I feel the new words. I break the neural nets, and then I get into beta and I change. Here are the examples that I've had so far. More than this, but a few. My decisions have led me to ruin. No, my decisions have led me to the beginning of my real life, which is this. I can't get ahead. I'm right where I need to be. Cancer is killing me. This is the big one. Cancer is the fertilizer I needed to grow. I feel the emotions before it happens, and that's the deep, authentic gratitude. And I'm not talking about sitting down and writing 3 pieces of things you're grateful for every morning, because that can become subconscious and automatic too. I'm getting to a point where I can feel that, and then I get back into beta and I break the patterns. Look, I still struggle. I had it happen again just now, but I'm getting a lot of clarity from this and a lot of drive, and shit's getting done in my life. Step 1 for you, log past, present, future thoughts and the emotions triggered. Be aware of what's happening. Step 2, are you in a hamster wheel or are you in a maze? Hamster wheel, you can spin, 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 but a maze is fun. Anybody ever been to a corn maze, right, where you're running around? It's super fun. You hit walls, you bounce back, but that's the fun stuff. That's where you got to make sure you're at. Are you in the maze or are you in a hamster wheel? Step 3, put a stick in your spoke. I don't want you to get what I have or any other disease, but a stick in the spoke changes and pattern interrupts your life. For me, it's unscripted travel experiences that transform you. That's it, man. Step 4, learn to disconnect the body from the mind and break the neural nets. Learn that. If you can read and watch and see those things, you'll be able to actually come out of it and break the neural nets in this beta state. Some of you are building in a tornado. Some of you are. Remove it. When you remove it, you're going to get the clarity, you're going to get the increased drive, and likely the better performance. And you're going to get it without what I have. So the real title of this presentation, you're going to die. All that shit you're thinking, feeling, and stressing about, it's not going to matter. If you have questions about sales, hit me here. Questions about mental performance, hit me there.